farmers? Welcome back to Hinterland. Look at all the beautiful silage bales I made in between episodes. Yeah, I was over here with the Big M, the baler, and of course I had someone falling behind us to wrap up the bales. So we're going to have a whole bunch of silage bales throughout the winter. Good for our cows and good for our sheep as well. That's right, I said sheep. We can feed silage to the sheep. I think it's a power food, as it's called, for them. We'll have to see. As for the tree harvester, I used up almost the entire hour just cutting down trees up by the wind turbine. So I got a whole bunch of trees I can bring over to the mill. That should supply our mill for quite a while. You're going to unload? What button? Why aren't you unloading here? You should unload. Alright, now will you unload? Thank you. This auto-loading trailer, I haven't got used to it just yet. But getting back to the tree harvester, yeah, I cut down a whole bunch of trees up by the wind turbine. I got the hour meter up to 0.9 hours, brought it on in. The logging trailer, I still have that with the original logs that you saw me load up. And it's sitting at the sawmill. I need to unload those, and when I do, I'm going to return that trailer and probably buy one because I got a lot of logs up there. And I want to keep that sawmill up and going. I probably also should activate more things in the sawmill so it can produce more. And that way I can sell more. Let me go ahead and activate this again. So this should start picking up the bales. And we're good to go. Yeah, we're going to be spending more money today. A lot of you will probably laugh at that. But yeah, that's what we need to do. Got more things to buy. Originally I was hoping when I had the $10 million loan limit, I was like, well, it's going to be there, but I'm not going to spend that much, am I? Well, we're at $7.5 million, and I think by the time we get done today, we should be at $8 million, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. But one thing we're going to do is the plow that we have and been using, it works great, but the fields that I'm making are so big, it's just taking a while, and we've got plenty of fields that we need to make. So we're going to trade that one in. Someone's been recommending to me to use a different plow for a while, so we're going to go ahead and give it a go. I haven't seen the price of it in store yet, but we're going to upgrade. It's going to be like twice the working width, which is going to help us out. I can't hire a worker to create a field because workers only work in fields. So like this area that I mowed here is going to be a field, but yeah, we got to do it ourselves. So we shall. Let's bring these bales on over. So these will take 3 months to ferment, but that's fine. These will be for the cows and, of course, the sheep. The sheep. Sheep can actually eat silage. Although it says whole crop silage, so I don't know if this is the same or not. Maizeplus add-on, we'll find out as we go along here. I'm learning as I go, basically. Alright, and then left shift I. Thank you. I kind of miss a little bit from East Violin how the bales were a little bit. Well, the bales weren't bigger. They were just the capacity of the bale was higher, which reduced the amount of bales you had. But we're going to have tons of silage bales sitting there, and we're going to keep them all because I got a funny feeling the cows are going to eat a whole bunch. So this is not the only field that I went ahead and mowed. Just below where I was cutting the trees, I mowed there, but I'm going to make that into hay. That's going to be kind of key for the sheep. I was looking at what the sheep need to eat, and hay, of course, is one of them, but they don't eat hay pellets. So we are making hay pellets. I'm just not quite sure what I'm going to use them for yet. I guess I could just sell the hay pellets or hang on to them. I don't know. But we're making hay pellets anyways. We got plenty of grass around here, so it's not going to waste. And yep, that is all the silage bales. Yeah, the land around here can be a little wavy in some spots. Here it's not too bad. Over by the windmill, it needs to be leveled out. So after we get, ted the grass, and then of course we got to windrow it, then bale it. once we get all that off the ground, we got to go ahead with a landscaping tool and go ahead and smooth it on out. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a shed or something in the future for all these bales that we're going to have here. Did I leave enough room? I think I did. Apparently not. So let's scooch over a little bit more. There we go. Alright, all the bales are off the field, so that's good to go. Let's go ahead and teleport to the case. There we go. And of course, now where's my plow in here? There it is. Now, I am thinking I need a field of wheat to plant, which I'd have to do today. I think September. Is September the last day I can plant in the fall for wheat? No, I can do it in October. Alright, we're fine there. So let's go bring this plow. We're going to trade this one in. I don't mind trying out new mods and all that sort of stuff. We've been using this plow quite a bit in a lot of series. It's a great plow, but the fields that we're making are just a little bit extremely big, so let's upgrade. Get a little bit of cash back on this one here. Go ahead and fix it first. Wow, it's only $4, okay. And then I'll get, well, 15,000 back on it, so that's not too bad. Alright, now let's go into the store. And we got to go down to plows. And of course, being a mod, so, oh, it's even cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So this is the John Deere 2410 plow. Working width is 16.7 meters, working speed at 9 meters. Only requires 320 horsepower to pull it. Looks like a converted cultivator into a plow, but you know what? I'm not going to argue about the working width. Alright, and while we're here as well, let's go down to here and scroll all the way down here. This is the biggest toe behind mixer I could find for cows. I think it was a whole like 45,000 liters. Sounds like a lot, but with Maizeplus, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Well, that's 141,000. I don't got 141,000. Not yet, anyways. Hang on a second. We can fix this. Nope, we need to borrow. Borrow as I go. All right, that's good enough. And then go back into here and click onto here, and we'll buy that. Yes, thank you. Now, I don't know if it'll do it when I'm not attached to it, but when you come up to here, no, it won't do it while I'm coming. Oh, sorry, yeah, I got to be attached to it. So let me go ahead and attach to it, and you can kind of see what we can do with this thing. You're probably saying it's a TMR mixer, total mix ration mixer. Yes, it is. But we got so many new options to go on. So let's see here. What button is it here? The Y button. Yeah, Y. So in the upper left-hand corner, you can see Y. It says current recipe standard. So that would make your standard TMR mix. But with Maizeplus, you can change it to current recipe realistic mixture. That is all the stuff you would, you know, those are the potential stuff that you could put in to make the realistic mixture. You don't have to put it all in, but there are certain there are certain things you would have to put in, like the corn silage and all that kind of stuff. Since we're going with dairy cows, so there's beef cattle mixture, young stock, we're going to be doing the dairy cattle. So even though it's got more on the list than what I'm going to put in, I'm probably just going to be doing silage and hay is all I'm going to be putting on in there, and we will be good to go. But that is for dairy cattle, because that's what we're doing here. But we don't need to do that just yet, because I don't have any silage currently. We do have hay, but I don't have enough to go ahead and make a mixture. All right, let's go try this plow on out. And let's go ahead and create a field. Then we'll move over to the other field that I cut. We got to ted it and windrow it. May not get to baling it today, because there's a couple of things I want to go ahead and spend some money on. Like a silo. I'm going to put the silo down pretty darn soon, because even though we're not going to be harvesting until, you know, midsummer next year, I want to kind of get an idea of how the farm's going to look. So I don't want to say I waited on East Vineland, because on East Vineland it was all about building up the money, because part of that challenge was no money and all that kind of stuff. Here, money we don't technically care about. So oh, look at that plow. Well, this is, you know, this is going to be nice. Let's kind of, I can always change the roads around. All right, so allow to create field. And away we go. Now, originally when I was going to do this, I was going to activate the mod where you can use the cultivator to create a field. But by doing so, the field still needs to be plowed. It'll be a field. I was like, well, I could do that. Then I could actually technically hire a worker to plow the field. I was like, I'm doing the work twice. And then, you know, someone kept mentioning, a few people kept mentioning this plow here to use. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and give it a go. I was actually surprised that the horsepower requirement is only 350 horsepower. And the case should be a 438 horsepower engine in there, so we're good to go. Now I do have to be a little bit careful. I can kind of see, you know, where we mowed. And that is the edge of the land that we own. Currently. Probably keep on buying stuff. So we need a potato field, a sugar beet field, a cotton field. I want another field for wheat, and I think a field for corn. So I need 5 more fields, this being one of them. So we got a little bit more work to do. But the good thing is, I only need 1 between now and next month for the wheat. Potatoes, sugar beet, corn, canola, and cotton will be planted next year in the springtime. So I got a little bit of time to get there. Got a little bit of grass here and there, but that's fine. I did have a little problem when I was working in this field, and you probably see me use a setup on East Vineland to where we have the modded Krone Big M mower that can haul a baler. I had Courseplay following behind, I was setting up Courseplay to follow behind the Big M. So I set up Courseplay to follow the Big M, and then I got into the Krone Big M, and I went to turn on the baler, and I did that twice, and when I did that twice, the game froze on me. So I found out, and I don't know if I did it on East Vineland in the sequence, but if you're going to do that sequence there with Courseplay, what you need to do is turn on the baler first in the Krone Big M, and get the Big M ready to go. So the Big M mower is on, the baler is lowered, and it's on. Then set up Courseplay on the tractor behind you, and the game doesn't freeze. But the one thing you can't do is you can't turn the baler on and off. For some reason, when you try to select on the baler, it just locks the game up for some weird reason. Conflicting mods probably is causing that problem, but if you're using some of the mods that I am, you may run into the same issue. I just want to let you be aware of that could be a problem. So if your game freezes up when doing that, just keep that in mind. So the other plow is was a 9 meter, and this is a we'll just say 17 meter. So almost double the working width. So we can make this actually any field. I know originally I think I said it was going to be a potato field, but we can, since this field's going to be here, we can actually get maybe wheat right into this field, and then work on the potato, sugar beet, corn, and cotton fields in like October, November, and December. So that's probably what we'll do. I can actually get a worker over here right away and start planting the wheat in. We just going to need some straw. Straw for the cows for bedding so we can get the solid manure. We should get tons of solid manure with Maizeplus food add-on, which the manure and the slurry from the cows are going to go over to the BGA, which of course will help us make a whole bunch of cash. Now we're doing a lot of spending here, but we'll get the money on back. I do it in most of my series where I'm always, right at the beginning, just spend everything. Well, unless I got certain restrictions. like East Vineland was no money, no land, no equipment. And here, it's like, well, we can do a loan up to $10 million. Just borrow it all, and we'll pay it back. It's okay. We'll pay it all back. Even on hard economy, you always make money doing things. It may take you longer, but that's the whole point. Maybe a little bit more of a challenge. But that's the whole, to me, that's the whole point of playing games is having a challenge there somewhere. If it's not a challenge to you, then really it's not a game. That's just my opinion. But part of the challenge is the fun part of it as well. If it's too hard of a challenge, it's not fun, then yeah, you need to change it on up for yourself. Do whatever you need to do to make the game fun. But give yourself some goals and challenges. Of course, some people probably do Farming Simulator just to come in and relax. They find it relaxing just taking some big equipment or small equipment and making a field like this. So of course this field will need some lime, needs to be planted, and of course soil sampling needs to be done, but with our soil sampler we'll get it done rather quickly. Anywho, I'm going to continue on getting this field done. Probably take me another 5 minutes or so, and then maybe we'll grab a soil sample and we'll get someone on the JCB to come on over. No, actually they'll use the case. We'll take the JCB to Ted and Windrow, the grass on the other side, and they can plant some wheat in this field for us. I am a little bit nervous about the terrain around here. I don't want to smooth this one out because I just don't like having a pure flat field. So the rolling hills, I guess we'll call them. It'll be kind of interesting when I come in here with a header, see if I got any problems with it. But we're not using the 60-foot header. We're using the one just below. I think my calculation was a 50-foot header, something like that. But if I get down to the ground, you may not see, like if I do it like from this third-person view, you might be able to see it a little bit, but you really see it when I get down to ground level. You can see how the terrain, like right here, we get little uphills here and there. So if I go the way I'm going now, I may not have an issue, but if I go this direction in the field, and the header is on one part of a hill, and it may not harvest the other part. We'll worry about that next year, see how it goes. Yeah, but upgrading the plow definitely is going to make working the fields a little bit easier. And plus, you know, I've been using that other plow quite a bit. It's nice to use different implements now and then. So definitely at least 4 more fields we got to make by next spring. Then of course slowly expand beyond that. We'll have to see what kind of yields we get. See if it's going to keep up with what we have. The main focus is just getting enough material for the cows and the sheep. Then of course beyond that, getting the productions up and going. Now the interesting thing, when I did the first fact sheet for the goo vial pack, we can actually make sugar beet pulp I do believe in that pack. The balers will be able to wrap cut sugar beet into sugar beet pulp. I wonder if that's going to be the same sugar beet pulp that we need to make. I think that was needed in the grist mill. It was needed somewhere in one of the factories we put down. Which, by the way, I should show you the factories because I did go ahead and put in roads around there and put down some asphalt just to make it look a little bit more like an industrial area. That's all I did was put down roads. I didn't put down lights, fences, and all that stuff yet. Got a little carried away the other night when I got done cutting down the trees. I said, I got to put the roads in now because it was starting to annoy me. And I don't know if I want to do a whole lot of decorating in the videos because I know some people just don't prefer seeing that. But maybe let me know in the comments below if you just want to see me decorate. If you don't mind seeing me decorate, then I mean, I don't mind showing a little bit of it, but I don't want to make a whole 45-minute video of me just, you know, goofing around in the landscaping mode and looking at different bushes and all that stuff. Alright, so yeah, this is definitely going to be a wheat field for the first year. Alright, make sure I turn off allow create field so nothing weird goes on there. Fold that on up. Let's go back to the shed. We'll park this in there for now. We'll grab the soil sampler, put that on the front of the case, and put the horse drill on the back. Make sure I got enough seed and fertilizer. Maybe we'll just top it off. Be better that way. And then about mid-year next year, once we start getting some straw bales, we'll look at maybe getting a couple more cows. Can I squeeze this between here? Yes, I can. And how we doing? Yeah, I'll just top it off. It might be enough. Let's go top it off first, and I'll come back and grab the soil sampler. I know a few people have asked about the... Yeah, so I got to fill up one container. I got to back out of the zone and then drive back in. About the horse pack that I've been using. Yeah, the original link, the site that was on is no longer going. Can I start filling? It says R to start filling, but it's not filling. Alright, maybe I gotta turn around. Be kind of weird if that's a thing, but there we go. Finally found the little spot to get in. Probably the thing I gotta do when I fill this up is I gotta make sure that the front or the back is not in the zone. So if they're both in the zone, I hit filling, it's going to try to fill the first one, which was fertilizer, which is full. Oh, I need the soil sampler. I do like the shed, just that my camera angle sometimes can be a little bit... Oops. If I'm too far back, they clip into the roof. Alright, so now I need the big map, I guess, for this thing. And maybe get this field in 2 goes. Maybe more than 2. Either way, it's fine. It won't take us too long. There's one sample. I'm watching the map more than where I'm actually driving. Alright, so 3 samples in total. Alright, send those samples off. Oh, you know what? I got detached from the seeder. There. Now send the samples in. There we go. And we can get rid of the map. Fold that soil sampler up. Let's connect to that. So we got wheat selected. I thought I had wheat. Oh, I was on wheat, but I kept hitting Y to send out the soil samplers, and it was actually changing the seed on the drill. All right, except for wheat. I think we got our soil samples in. Thought I heard it click. I thought I heard a ding. Yes, we got it. All right, so we're good to go. So now that we actually have a field, I can set this off on a worker. All right, and let's go do this. Create job. Field is already selected for me because we're in it. And we'll just do one headland because we got plenty of room for them to work around, so there's no trees or anything here. Lower down. And of course with a direct drill we don't need to cultivate a field first. Alright, and then Control H will hire... Oh, no. Hang on a second. Says it was Kim. The problem is, I got the soil sampler on the front. Yeah, they were taking soil samples. So let's put this over here. I did not know Courseplay would do soil sampling. Did those samples come in? I don't want to start seeding until the sample... I think it said it did come in. There it goes. It did charge me, but that's fine. It was only another $150. Alright, now can you resume? Are you all set, dude? All you gotta do is plant the wheat. That's all you gotta do. I think he's good. Alright, we need to get to... Oh, the JCB. How perfect. Let's detach that. And we need to grab the tedder. To make some hay. And I will bring it around by the factory so you can kind of see the roads and stuff I made around there before we get up to the grass field. I mean, it's nothing too fancy. Just roads going here and there. Oh, that's right. Wrong road. I gotta go one more in to get to the roads. So, where the asphalt starts, that's what we own to. And all I did was, of course, this is the grist mill. So I got a little bit of a road going around there. Of course, we got the pellet building right there to drop off the hay, which I got a whole bunch to be processed. That building right there is a spinnery, which wool and cotton go into, makes fabric and clothing. On our left, of course, we got our straw processing. That's going to take a while before we get enough straw to be put in there. I got asphalt going as far as it would allow me to. On the right is our dairy, which is going to be very key to us in our dairy process. Probably going to have to use the factory upgrades on that building for the amount of milk we're going to have. And of course, we got our seed potato production. Potatoes go in the silo. We'll feed them in there with a bucket loader. And then, of course, we'll have our pig food, seed potatoes, and premium potatoes coming out of there. And at least we got a shed here to, store the pallets if we need to. And then, of course, we got ourselves the BGA, which the solid manure and slurry will come on over. And, of course, we'll make electricity, methane, and digestate. We could use digestate to spray in the fields. Save money on fertilizer, but or I could just go ahead and sell it. We'll have to wait and see. Spread out our tedder. Let's see, what do I have it set for? Right now it's set for base game. So we want to make not conditioned, not semi-dry. We just want to make pure hay with it. Now, if you wanted to go pure realistic with it, I guess what you could do is, of course, this is called fresh grass. I guess you could then ted it to semi-dry grass and then go around it, wait a couple hours to role play it if you wanted to. And then, of course, then you could ted it from semi-dry grass or wet grass over to hay. A little bit of me, I know I've said this before, I would kind of like to see it as it was in seasons in 19 to where you could cut the grass. Now, if the grass was as wet as it's showing here, you would have to ted the grass, and the grass would then dry to semi-dry grass. But there was no way to ted grass from semi-dry grass to hay. You actually had to wait for it, depending on if the sun was out. There was also wind was a factor. You had to wait however long it was before the grass went from semi-dry to hay. I kind of like that, but a couple times it did bite me in the butt to where the weather was not ever good enough for the grass to turn to hay. So, now getting back to terrain leveling, this over here, you're going to see as we're tedding it, it's going to be bouncy quite a bit over, especially on this section over here. So we're going to have to smooth that out. We're going to have nothing but problems with our equipment doing so. Now this field here, I'm not in much of a rush. This got to be done in the springtime. And then I can figure out if I want whatever the other 4 groups I want, which is potatoes, sugar beet, corn, cotton. Or I could make 2 fields out of this. Although the first year, the bigger the field, the better. The more we can throw in production. Because we got to start bringing that cash in. Yeah, that wind turbine up there on the hill. Which, by the way, since we're right here, at least I'll kind of show you how much wood we got cut down. If you remember last episode, we were cutting down trees. I thought I was going to barely have, just barely have enough to get the sawmill full. And I had more logs up here than I thought I did. This should last us, I would say it's going to last us through spring and the next summer. With the amount of logs I got up here, a whole bunch of logs. It has cleared out quite a bit, as you can see. I said, you know what? We rented this thing for an hour. We're going to use it for 0.9 hours, and we did. So plenty of logs up here to be brought on down to the sawmill. And I'm not going to upgrade the sawmill yet. Upgrading factory is not going to do it until it's needed. I'm not going to do a preemptive strike on it and say, let's upgrade it. I mean, yeah, I could upgrade the sawmill because we got so much wood. But I got so much other projects going on to start this series that that's just started to kind of maybe get us a little bit of income. But I am going to have to go in there and probably, I was just making just long planks, but If I turn everything on, we'll make other products and we can sell more, and I can use that wood a little bit faster. We don't really need to upgrade the factories to take more wood and just produce more long planks. I'll just turn on more productions in the building and you'll be fine. The one thing with a map like this, though, when I was trying to mow the grass, with no boundary markers, not knowing where you own the land was kind of hard, so I had to keep going into the map. And it doesn't show you, like when you bring up the map HUD, it doesn't show you the grid lines, which, yeah, usually you don't really need it. Because usually on most maps you got more forest areas, roads, to give you some boundaries like, oh, I know where the boundary is, or other fields. But this, and No Man's Land, and Western Wilds, those kind of maps there with no fields and just a few boundary markers, it's kind of hard to know where the land is that you own. And I was trying not to go on the other property because sometimes with bigger equipment, it'll allow you to maybe like cut the grass on another farmer's field, and grass will go on down, then you go try to go pick it up, and they'll say, well, that's not on your property. Then you got to look at that grass that's sitting there for a while. I got a few spots like that in East Vineland where grass is just sitting there. All right, so there's that issue again of not tedding all of the grass that's on the ground, but that's not a big deal. It's so small that I think when I windrow it, it'll calculate it as all as hay, and it'll convert it over then. I know it sounds weird, but working in a field like this, it's like, oh, we'll get a big windrow or a big tedder, and we'll get the job done rather quickly. And then you start doing the job, then you realize how long it's taking. It's like, yeah, these are big fields. It may not seem like they're big at first until you start working in them, then you realize these are decent size. So starting like right about here, you may be able to see the terrain, especially when I start going uphill. It's going to be bumpy and rough. So we're going to have to smooth this on out. But just like in real life, not all land is nice and smooth and steady uphill climb or downhill decline. Well, we got the free landscaping tool, so that should let us be all set on that. Oh, I just also saw on my Discord channel, someone was asking how we can place buildings, or I've been placing buildings close to one another or inside of one another. You should be able to do that right from the construction menu, which I'll show you in a little while. Once I get the second row done here with the hay, we're going to go build our silo. I think if you hit the V key while in the construction mode, it puts you in free mode to where you can put buildings on top of one another and what have you. But I'll show you how that's done. I don't know what the controls would be on console. But I'll get the rest of this field tedded up in between episodes. Don't need to be sitting here the entire time watching me just take grass and turn it on over. Because it'll probably take me like another 10-15 minutes just to do this. So let me get down the other end of the field, and then it's time to go build a silo, and we'll do a little bit of decorating around it, I think, to make it look kind of nice. I wonder if, I had the same issue on No Man's Land. I wonder if I just change directions, if it'll turn this grass all into hay. So it's getting going in this direction, but you can see going the other direction. I missed little spots here and there. Or is it just because it's bumpy and I need to go over it again? Yeah, it's getting it the second time, so yeah, I'm not too sure. Alright, I'll have this a nice looking swaths next time. But let's go back. Actually, I want to see how Frank Jr. is getting along planting some wheat. So he's getting along rather quickly. It's looking all nice. Now let's get back to the farm here. So I was trying to figure out where I wanted to put the silo. And I just wasn't quite sure. But I think we're going to go ahead and put it in this general area right here. So, I mean, it looks relatively flat. I think so. Let me back on up a little bit. So, construction. First time I've been into construction, so you got to give it a moment. There we go. Silos. And if I bring up the helper HUD, and we're going to scroll on down here. This is a silo by Missy B. There's that. Oh, not enough money. What do I need? 250,000. All right, hang on a second. We got to borrow more money. Bank is going to love me. All right, so far we're still below 8 million. I'll borrow that much. There we go. So it'll hold 15 million liters. I figured that'd be good enough. So it's charging me like $12.20 for landscaping fees. So it can't be that bad around here. So let's go ahead. So before I place it, you can see in the upper left-hand corner, you can see where it says toggle free mode, off or on. So when the toggle free mode is off, is this going to place it on down and not do any landscaping? With it on, I'll do the landscaping. I should be able to, like, you can see where I can kind of place it here. But if I turn it off. All right, so maybe I got a different mod on. So I thought that was what that was for. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember the name of that mod. All right, let me go check what the name of that mod is so I can tell you right now what it is. And it should be on the mods list on the link below. But let me just double check. The name of the mod you might be looking for is called Placeable Extended. I could not find it on the Giants mod hub. So you may have to get it off a third-party website. But that's the mod I always have clicked on anyway. So it helps me out. Place down buildings, which we're going to do right here. So that's like $1,000 only extra for landscaping. So there we go. We got ourselves a silo. So where is the terrain off a little bit? Looks like right here, right next to the cows. Luckily it didn't affect the fence line too much, so we can definitely deal with that. Left me a little bit of room between the silo and the fence line. And some room over here, so a little bit of smoothing out, we can handle that. But plenty of room to bring in anything, unlike East Violin with that silo. So anything that's wide, I can get on in here. And I don't think that height is going to be an issue at all. So we're all set there. Actually, it's showing me the manure from the, I believe from here. Yeah, 277. 277. So it actually shows me, this silo will show me the capacity of the manure in another silo. All right. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Let's see here. Let's just do a little bit of landscaping here. And we're going to do some painting. And not asphalt, gravel. Yep, that's the gravel we're going with. So we'll just do like a little bit of section in here. And then we'll just curve it right on back out the road. And I went too much into the road. Just smooth that out like that. And let's go back into landscaping, sculpting. Just smooth it out in here. Be careful not to get too close to any piles that are on the ground like that manure. If I get too close, it will delete it. Don't really care about the terrain there, but I just want to make it look a little bit more natural, and that should be all set there. So now we got ourselves the silo. Yeah, that transitions nice and smooth into here. I don't see no major bumps anywhere. And a little bit here, but I think that's very limited. We'll have to see when we come in here with the truck and trailer next year and put stuff in there. But I do believe we can put just about anything in this silo. And holding 15 million liters, more than what we need. But what I may do is, when we do harvesting, I may just bring stuff. I may set up workers to bring it to the silo and go back and forth to the field. And then when I'm done harvesting, we can just take the stuff from the silo and bring it to whatever production building that we need to have it done in. But yeah, there we go. So we got tons of silage bales for the 2 cows. But yeah, next year we should have more than that. We're just waiting on straw. And there's no way to get straw currently. We just got to wait until June next year for the barley. But these 2 cows should have more than enough straw in here to let, keep them happy. I have yet to do anything with this sheep mod to increase the food capacity here. Because right now they're not even taking the grass out of the field here. So I didn't really test the sheep that much on the Maizeplus. I did on the cows to see how much food they went through. But not on the sheep. I just figured, if we're making hay, might as well go ahead and have the sheep. And of course, we bought ourselves a new plow. That worked out rather well. We got our TMR mixer. We'll get into that a little bit more once, maybe next episode we'll go ahead and make some TMR. Because I can put more food into the feed trough here. Maybe we'll just do one mixture and have a go at it. And of course, right now we're also making some hay and spending more cash. What's the loan up to? What is that loan creeping up to? So we're still under 8 million. Not by much. But we don't have the root crop harvester, but we don't need that until next year. So I can hold off onto that. But everything else is going rather well so far. As long as I don't spend... If I get up to 10 million and I need more money than that, then yeah, I need to slow down somewhere. But we got a good start. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Hinterland. But until then, have a good one.